A tragedy has struck. Hopes were very high when Bellerophon, in what seemed to be a friendly gesture, offered to take Sith and Eobea for a ride on Pegasus. As the pair soared upward, Pegasus suddenly bucked, and beautiful Sith and Eobea plunged to her death. Ever since Bellerophon slipped the golden bridle onto Pegasus, the winged horse has been as docile as a sheep. Could Bellerophon have caused Pegasus to buck? Or was it just an unfortunate accident, as Bellerophon claims? Perhaps there will be some good news yet to emerge from all this grief and sorrow. At long last, Melampus has revealed a cure for your insane granddaughters. Build a sanctuary to Apollo, the god of healing. Surely Apollo will look upon your granddaughters with pity and cure them of their ailment. Meanwhile, Bellerophon, with sword rattling, has had the gall to accuse you of trying to kill him. He says that it is all clear to him. Chimera, Echidna, your own soldiers' attempted ambush. He claims that the list goes on and on. He has threatened that if you do not build another home for him, he will make your life most unpleasant once he assumes his seat on Olympus. Assumes his seat on Olympus? Maybe soaring to such great heights on the back of Pegasus has robbed Bellerophon's brain of some much-needed oxygen, because he sounds insane. Refusing a dangerous crazy man his wish would be futile and potentially deadly. Maybe building him another hall would quiet him.
Maybe it will quieten him. So it sounds like Bellerophon has worked out that we've been trying to kill him. Anyway, this is the mission. The Wheel of Fortune spins. All you have to do is fulfill yet another pointless quest and build a sanctuary. So, again, very easy. Let's just head to the city and just save straight away on this final mission. So, in fact, I could just go ahead and put down the sanctuary right here, because this is a great place to put it. There, yeah. Just connect this up to a road, like so. Now this needs 6 sculptures, there's plenty of wood. So this sculpture will get used. There's only one sculpture studio, but that's fine. And we're just stockpiling bronze at this point. Let's just stock the stockpile of bronze, because it looks as if we're not getting enough. So, yeah, I mean, again, the missions start taking a turn for the worse, but that's okay. Just delete that, that's just getting in the way. So, yeah, the sanctuary guys will go and place the marble tiles. We've got plenty of marble. In fact, we've got all the marble we need in this mission, so we don't need to import any more. We've got quite a bit here. 64. There's at least 64 in this. So let's just set this to accept and bring it all over. So yeah, I'll just let this run, and I'll come back in when the quest is announced, or if it's the Sanctuary of Apollo is completed first. Okay, so we have completed the Order of Apollo. It didn't take too long. We got all the sculpture we needed pretty quickly, and there it is, done. Now all I have to do is wait for the quest to be announced, because that's all we need to do. I do need to store up more bronze, so what I am going to do is empty all of this. We're going to set this one to get and have all the bronze stored here. I'm going to try and use up the bronze quickly to get rid of this. As you know, what we'll do is we'll set this to accept. Let's set this one to accept bronze. Sorry, we're going to set out to accept bronze, and this one's going to be set to accept armor. And we're going to pull the armor from here out, and sort of just empty this out. To be honest, we don't need anything down here. So let's just speed this up. Now I will trade temporarily with Tyrants just to sell a little bit of excess armor here. Employees needed, blah blah blah. Now I guess a housing block has devolved. No, it hasn't, so I can just delete these artisan guilds that I built. That was the wrong thing to delete. Just undo that. Delete those. And that, and that, and that. Now we have a lot more workers coming from this, so I will, for the sake of it, we'll just build another trireme morph right there. So we will sell extra armor. That's emptied all of that out. And we don't need to sell any more armor there, so let's just put all that back.
Worship me.
There's some wood going into that trident. You could be set to accept armor. And we'll delete that. Now we are stockpiling bronze, are we? Nope, we're not. Let's stockpile. And how many workers do we have? 129, that's perfect. I can just put down the final trireme morph right here. And we can actually cut this journey short. So we've actually got all 6 triremes that we need. We don't even need all of these, but it's the thought that counts. Now we're not going to sell any more wine here. Let's just delete that. And we're going to put a trade post back for Tyrants. Happiness money available. Don't need that, it's a waste of time. Now this is set to accept, so we should be able to sort of stockpile this stuff away. 8 bars of bronze, nice. Since we've got all the marble, we don't even need this marble, let's just delete that. What's this like? All nice and stable. Good. So we're going to sell off armor just to get rid of these things here, and I'll shift it all up here. Just because it makes things easier. This just looks stupid seeing these triumphs so close to each other, but it's the way it has to be done. And once these two are gone, I'll just shorten this road. There we go. Go on, I'll just wait for the... And I will just...
Greetings, fair one. I have a very important quest for you.
Journey to Olympus. I, Hera, need to see Bellerophon immediately here on Olympus. I'm sure the hero will be able to find a suitable conveyance to journey here. I promised not to harm a hair on the hero's head, and now we can summon Bellerophon. And we'll just cut that road there. Just saves us a load of hassle and not waste too much space. We don't need to sell any more armor there, so let's bring it back somewhat. We don't need to accept sculpture either, so let's just bring it back a bit.
Please let me fulfill an outstanding request.
Thank you, Hermes, for sharing the burden. So lovely of you. So we don't need to trade with Tyrants either. We're fine. We'll put down the Heroes Hall for... Who's this? Bellerophon. I thought it said Hercules there for some reason. All I need to do is just send him. I mean, that is it. I mean, I just have to wait for the button to tell me that I can send. Send for Bellerophon, that's fine. Except, let this bronze flow again. And that's fine. Actually, we can stockpile bronze again for a little while. I'm going to shift these around once more. We could just accept and sell more armor, I suppose. I know I keep deleting and rebuilding this, but I just keep getting different thoughts. But either way, Bellerophon is here. Let me just sort out this mess first, because then I'll be able to do things a lot more simpler than this. Just wait for the year to reset.
Please let me fulfill an outstanding
10 pieces of sculpture cheese. Thank you, Hermes, for sharing the burden. That's actually helpful. There's more bronze, but I don't need it. We have summoned in, so it doesn't matter how much bronze is in this city at this point. I can delete all of this and just line up a lot more better than rather than looking like a mess. And that can also be a yard for armor as well, I think. So I'll stop selling armor there. Pardon me. We can also stop stockpiling bronze since we've got way too much of it in stockpile now. And we are actually selling quite a bit of olive oil here, but that's okay. Let's just take the final save of this adventure and marvel at our city, because we will never see this again. We're going to go into the final and most toughest adventure ever concocted for a campaign. So let us send Bellerophon to Olympus, which is, he's going to fly there almost certainly. So we built up 6 cobble blocks in the street like this, with a 7th one up here, and we had 4 elite blocks nicely grouped together, 2 here along this coast, and 2 along this coast, and the Centre of Apollo right there, and Hermes sort of just tucked away in the centre. We did quite well. I think we did quite well. I know this housing block isn't for everyone's taste. I've had some comments about saying I could do a bigger block. But I think this block is going to be very useful for the next adventure. You'll see why. The next adventure is so tough. And this small compact block is actually quite useful for it. But let's just speed to victory and win this adventure for the final time. Because I hate this adventure, it's shit, and really could do a lot better.
The wheel of fortune has finally spun, and those who were once on the bottom are now at the top, and those who were at the top are now at the bottom. At long last, the news from Protus is good. Building a sanctuary to Apollo, as Melampus had suggested, worked, and now your granddaughters have full possession of their senses. As promised, your fairest granddaughter has wed Melampus, and, as a wedding gift, Protus has given Melampus 1/3 of his kingdom. Bellerophon, too, has experienced a reversal of fortune. The brash man thought that he belonged with the gods on Mount Olympus, and he was led to believe that he had Hera's support. Little did he know that Hera had had quite enough of his shenanigans, and that she knew Zeus would rapidly punish a mortal who dared approach the home of the gods. As surely as Helios drives the sun across the sky each day, Zeus indeed quickly put Bellerophon back in his place. The mighty god sent a gadfly, which bit Pegasus on the hind quarter. Reeling from the sting of the bite, Pegasus reared back, throwing Bellerophon off. Bellerophon plunged back to Earth, but as usual, managed not to die. Now Bellerophon, bitter and broken, is wandering Greece alone. Thanks to the gods, he has finally left Lycia for good.
Well, it sounds as if he's very happy about that. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is spun, and Bellerophon's gone, and that's the end of the adventure, so let us proceed.
Some time has passed since you received any bad news or strange requests from Protus. In fact, he has managed to forge an uneasy peace with Acrisius, and Melampus is leading his portion of the kingdom admirably. Now that things in the world have settled down, you've been able to focus your full attention on Lycia, which has developed into a fine city. For all the trouble that Bellerophon caused, his help in ridding the land of Chimera has certainly helped Lycia become the city that it is today. And what of Bellerophon? At last report, he was still wandering Greece, and all who see him turn their backs upon him. Some report that they have heard him planning to recapture Pegasus, but he certainly won't be able to find anyone, mortal or god, to help him reclaim the beast. Finally, Lycia's Bellerophon troubles are over.
They are indeed, so that is the adventure. We have developed Lycia into a great place. Let's head to new adventure and have a look at the last one. Two Worlds Collide. This is an infamous adventure for a lot of wrong reasons. It is one of the most challenging. In a world torn apart by oppression, a strong leader must arise to throw off the yoke of a servitude. This is a very challenging adventure that consists of 6 Parent City episodes and 2 colonies. Some people do know this, but the Two Worlds Collide adventure is actually a complete role reversal of Atlantis Reborn. So in Atlantis Reborn, we played as the Atlanteans trying to conquer Greece and bring them into the fold kind of thing and destroy Greek culture. Two Worlds Collide plays basically as you are the Greeks trying to throw off Atlantis, so Atlantis is the enemy. It's going to be very difficult. But you're going to have to find out why in the next video, because that's where we're going to start Two Worlds Collide. Bye now, folks.